All right. Well, here we are. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was trying to get my captioner to work and it's still being weird. I turn it on and turn it off again. No, it should be doing its thing. I don't know why it's not doing its thing. It was being weird last week too, I think. Oh well. It says it's there, and yet I don't see any words showing up. So if you're watching for closed captioning, I do apologize that it doesn't seem to be happening at this moment. We'll leave it up just in case it, connects to itself. So, all right. Well, how is everybody doing today? So let's see. We are here on Heart of a Hobbit, here on the official Lotro stream channel, twitch.tv/Lotro stream. And I am your host, Little Redhead. I will be taking you around the world of Middle Earth today, running around. We'll be doing a fun little side quest called the Adventures of Bingo Boffin. Higgler, hello, good afternoon. And it is afternoon. It is afternoon here. Anathalis, thank you. Hello, like the new style, very nice and pretty, and Charity is always good. Thank you. Yeah, I have a, I was thinking about that just a few minutes ago. I was like, you know what? I'll be able to tell when the regulars pop in because they'll be like, whoa, new hair. So that will be fun. And yes, I do have them. I haven't actually put them in the mail yet because I need to do the shipping myself. But I don't know if you can see, but there's the braids of the hair that's getting donated. They're like this long all the way over to here and kind of wrapped around a little bit. So anyway, so that's what's headed off to the hair charity. In the not too distant future. So yes, there's like very little back there, and I'm trying to get it all floofy on top. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to do with it yet, but I'm having fun with it. I just watched it, so I'm always like nervous after watching it. Like, what's it gonna do? Like, am I gonna go like that, or like, what is my plan here? What does my hair want to do? That's the other thing is my hair usually has a mind of its own, so I am expecting it to do like do wacky stuff like that. But it's actually been very nice and polite to me, so I'm very, very pleased by that. So, yeah, I'm having fun with it. Yeah, it is fun. It's fun. So, yay! Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the input. It was so funny because we live in the Netherlands, and the Dutch are very direct. And a friend of mine saw it, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like it." He's like, "You look like your grandmother. You look like your granny." Which, I mean, is not necessarily wrong. As far as I know, I'm not a grandmother. My kids probably would have mentioned it. Um, but yeah, I am old enough to be a grandmother, although that's not saying much necessarily. But yeah, it was funny because it did occur to me. I was like, there are a lot of older women with shorter hair, right? Like, why? Like, what is it about getting older that you're just like, gone? I don't know. It's something about where you are in life, I guess, because it's just easier to deal with, really, I suppose. There's some of that. So, all right. So, B4, who sits next to me here, just came back in the room. I assume everything is good with the handyman. Awesome. Is he done for the day? Awesome. Okay. So we had the door closed because there's been a lot of happening upstairs today. So hopefully we won't have that on stream. That's nice. So we do have on stream just barely. Kato is sitting there on the edge of the couch, and then just past her in the couch is Casper. He's taking advantage of the lovely sun that just popped out. It's been gray and cloudy most of the day, and yeah, the sun just came out, and I think Casper is very pleased with this turn of events. So one of the funny things about the hair is I'm so used to having long hair, and so I'm so used to having something on my neck, and my neck is getting cold more rapidly probably than your average person who's used to not having a hair back there as as an extra scarf. So I've been wearing my scarves more, which is convenient because I've been making a lot of scarves, so goes well. And so I have this like Doctor Who style that I made over the winter. And it's super cute. I love it. I did it in a very thin stripe, so it's easier to wear, and it was an homage, not a replica. And it's actually based off of the Osgood version of the Doctor Who scarf, just for those of you who are in the knowledge on that part. Anyway, so I've been wearing this, and It's very comfy, but it is. I love the colors, and it's like super squishy and kind of has a little bit of stretch to it, and I really love the scarf. The only thing is, it's wool, and it is a little itchy. It's a little bit of it's the itchy wool, just a little bit. I think over time it might soften up, and some of those rougher pieces might get softer and softer. So I just I just keep wearing it. But I decided I want something that's maybe made out of cotton. Plus summer is coming, so I wanted something a little bit more lightweight. Possibly. So I'm doing basically the same thing, but in different colors, and I'm doing it in cotton. So we'll see how it turns out. So I've got that. That's my current crafting update. Oh, and I'm still working on the sweater. I'm still knitting the sweater. Yes, this is the international symbol for knitting, and and that's still in the works. So it's about this long now. So that's pretty cool. It's just doing it in the round. Go round, round, round. Affadil got a new stone troll here. Do we need to go up and look at it in your yard? Oh, you haven't put it yet. Well, let's go up there and take a look. I don't have my fast feet on. Let me work on that. I am playing a hunter here in Lotro, and hunters have this really cool ability to make your whole fellowship go run faster. So I have that ability, and I didn't have it turned on. So, all right. So let's see what you got here. So you've got Stone Troll first, second, third over there. You got Three Peaks map table there. Is that what you're going to replace it with?
I think I have to.
Because the snow brawler, who is holding his own against the Stone Trolls, which I love that. I turned him around so it looks like he's fighting them, because he was turned away from him before, and I thought it was funny. And then of course you got to have the big windmill at the front. So, and here's the new Stone Troll. Oh, I like it. His hands over his face. Where did we get that from? That was Stangard. That's right. We've been working on doing Limelight Gorge, and Stangard has a reputation faction, and the Limelight Gorge has a reputation faction, and so they had this Stone Troll, and I think this was kind of like their way of not doing doing the other thing. I think if you could put it on solid ground and dip it in a little bit, then you wouldn't see the platform it's standing on. Yeah. Oh, it might not have height. You might not be able to lift it up and down. What if you scooch it closer to the house? Will it bury it?
It does not.
Too bad. So, Aaron Bard. Hello, Aaron Bard. Hey, bad news for you. We're planning to continue with Bingo Boffin. So, if you haven't caught up yet, we're going to go back to the Great River and do some more Bingo Boffin stuff. And we're going to do a kind of a big spoiler. So,
I think we'll do something like that.
Okay. You going to do him like that for now? Or you could just leave him out there by himself. He's like, oh man, I missed the party. Obviously, we're not there yet, though. Aaron Bard, you got a few minutes, chilling out. I don't know, that platform just throws me off. It's a bummer, isn't it?
It's not quite as good.
But you know what? There's so much terrain in these houses. I'll bet there's someplace in the yard you could find where it would bury him up to part of his feet or something.
Oh, perhaps, but we'll do.
All right, so that'll be later for the rock problem, but cool. Now you have 4 stone trolls and the training snow brawler and the windmill. That's fantastic. I love it. That brawler, man, he's taking him out. He's gonna take him out. The two brawlers are the 2 training snowmen. I guess I could also pull one out. Oh no, I can't. It's already on. That's right. All right. Well, shall we? Where should I take us? I guess I could take us to Stangard to get us started. Do I know the way to Stangard? I do. Why, yes, I do. It sounds like the start of a Curious song. All the stone trolls and a snow brawler. You know, it's so funny you mentioned that. So Aaron Bard, I love the stuff that people do at Green Dragon Friday. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Green Dragon Friday is an event that happens on the Laurelin server, which is a pretty heavily role-playing server. Like, there's people who don't role-play on that server, but if you are role-playing, it is likely to be happening on that server. Caveat, unless you're like German or I guess German, because there's a German role-playing server also, German language. I don't know how busy it is, though, because I don't have any characters there yet. Ooh, that's where, yeah, that we talked about the other day. That's where we could send characters. Anyway, Green Dragon Friday is a Hobbit role-playing event that happens at, you'll never guess, the Green Dragon in Bywater, Hobbiton Bywater area. And we get together, and for 2 hours, people play songs, tell riddles, tell stories, things like that. And the people will write lyrics to songs, and they do a fantastic job. Oh, should I just follow you? Sure. Okay. And I just, the lyric writing level that happens at Green Dragon Friday is quite good. I mean, occasionally you'll run into something that seems kind of obvious or whatever, but it's not. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's really good because people put time and effort into it, and it's often in theme with being a hobbit, you know, things that a hobbit likes, things like that. So, so I've been listening in real life to Eurovision, because Eurovision is happening in like a month, less than a month. And I was saying that I'm just not as, I don't know, I'm not as excited with the lyrics of this year's Eurovision. I'm like, I've heard better lyrics at Green Dragon Friday. But that's not actually like slagging on Green Dragon Friday, because people do a great job. So there we go. So speaking of, yes, could be the beginning of an interesting song. It absolutely could be. It would be a great song. All right, so Aaron Bard, we're probably approaching. We are not too far. Yeah, there is a lot of talent there. This is Aaron Bard, and I agree. There's a lot of talent there, and I have so many partial songs that I'd like to finish up. You may have noticed, all of y'all, that there's even more stuff behind me in the background. Now there's a table behind the couch. So we are finishing up the top floor. There's been some construction going on, and that is almost done. And we had a table. So our yarn store closed over in Arnhem. And so she was like selling off the furniture and all the stuff and everything. So we did buy the table off of her, which is cool. I have familiarity with that table. I have sat at it numerous months playing, doing knitting and crocheting with a group of people. It's been great. So, so we went ahead and bought the table from her, but you know, we got it home yesterday, like basically a week early in terms of versus when things are ready when it's ready, because it's going to go upstairs. We're hoping to get a sewing machine at some point, and that will be the sewing table, and it gives you a little room to do projects and stuff. So anyway, so yes, table is there waiting its turn to go upstairs. Yeah. So, all right, so we are approaching spoilers. I have the wrong ring on, that's why I don't know how close we are. There we go. The quest, we are 200 meters away, Aaron Bard. So if you wanted to avert your eyes and ears, we're coming up quickly upon that time. Just FYI. Although apparently I'm being attacked by a spider, so let me deal with that. But yes, we're almost through with the renovation upstairs. It's getting really close. We should be able to go upstairs and start like putting stuff back to this week, like at the end of the week, I think. There's still some stuff to do. Like there's some wooden doors that are being installed for hiding the storage area in the eaves. So, because it's the top floor, so it's, you know, that part where the end of it comes, and then you've got like little storage there that really you can't stand there because it's so short. So that's all storage, and we've got like some little sliding doors that are going there. And those doors are not painted. So at some point we'll have to, you know, kind of go back and paint those and stuff like that. But that's a later problem. It is not a today problem, not a this week problem. That will wait. Aphrodite is camouflaged. I mean, actually, that's pretty true. You blend. You blend. Yeah, you blend. All right, we'll see you later, Aaron Bard. Have a good afternoon. B4's stream won't be spoilery, I wouldn't think, so there we go. And who knows, we might finish up with some bingoing. So, yeah. All right, so here we go. Let us go. Stop dithering. And continue on with our questing here. I'm trying to be as vague as possible in case he hasn't gotten off yet, but On the other hand, like, catch up. Go do it. Now, we're playing on a server. Whoa, did you see what just happened in the background there? So we're playing on a server that is currently level capped at level 75. So we are approaching the end of the Bingo Bofffin sessions that we can do, the questing that we can do. So we have found a secluded clearing in which there is Bingo and Willem and Langhar, our new Bjorning friend. And there's Meneldor and Landraval. And you have to really look up because he does have a ring on his head for you. So here we go. He says, "Greetings, little Hobbit. You would be wise to use caution in these lands, for you are bound to the earth, and many dangerous things crawl there, eager to do you harm. Indeed, some of these foes aim their weapons skyward, intending to do harm to my kind as well." I just love this part of the quest.
I have never seen one of the
Bingo
great
says,
eagles
"Will
before,
you look at that?
let alone
I have never
2 of
seen one of
them."
the great eagles before, but we have seen a kitty cat before, haven't we? Let alone 2 of them. What an honor. Have you ever seen such majesty before? And they can speak." He stammers with excitement. Do you think they would give me interviews for my book? No. I would not even know what to ask them, but I have to think of something. Oh, I'm so nervous. I hope I do not embarrass myself. They seem so wise and well-spoken, and I'm just a small hobbit from the Shire and feeling smaller than usual. Indeed. All right, let's see what the Bjorning has to say.
We should give
She
Bingo
says, "I
some
take it Bingo
time
has
to
never
speak
seen one of
with
the great eagles before. I remember when Grimbjorn first took me to see them. I was just a cub and was quite overwhelmed by the experience. It is good to see Meneldir again. He does not seem quite as large as I remember, but I was smaller then. We should give Bingo some time to speak with the eagles. After all, if we were to take him away now, he would be able to think of nothing else. Let us defeat some of the venomous spiders that stalk among Wailing Hills and collect their venom sacs. That way, we will be giving Bingo time to speak with the eagles, and we will be combating a threat at the same time." Okay, sure. We're going to go defeat some of these nearby spiders. They are obnoxious. So let's go spider hunting. Yeah, Affadil, I know you've got your bright outfit on to stand out, but in this area, it does blend in a little bit. I don't know, you need to be in, like, gasp, yellow. Don't put on the yellow. The yellow is pretty hideous. Green kind of blends in too. Oh, hey, there's an ambusher though. I bet it counts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the gold. Orange. Orange is good. With the pointy hat. It's a good hat. What's that? Oh, yeah, I was going to look that up. King's Day is coming up, which is a Dutch holiday here. So the Dutch royal family is from the House of Orange. And even though the flag colors are on the Dutch flag are red, white, and blue, but the being the House of Orange, and I guess at some point maybe it was orange, but red's easier to see and easier to do. Orange is hard to do on flags. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so it's red, not orange. But for King's Day, everybody does up the country in orange. It's great. And we celebrate the king's birthday. Actually, well, yeah, we are celebrating the king's birthday. Originally, the holiday started with his grandmother or his mother's grandmother. I have to double check. At any rate, so she was like a beloved person of the family. And then there's kind of been this history in the last few generations where there was the queen, and then she lived through some crazy stuff like World War I or World War II. And she gets through it, and then she's kind of exhausted, is my thinking. And then she's like, sweet. Oh, offspring of mine, who's next in line? Your turn. And she, you know, steps down, and the next one steps up. And so at one point that had happened. And so the previous queen was still alive. And she was living in her village and, you know, enjoying life. And the people of the village, you know, quite liked her. And so every time her birthday came around, which was around this time of year, they had like a little, you know, little do in the village, had a celebration in the village. And it became a thing, and people were having a good time with it. And the people of the Netherlands were like, well, hey, let's just all get in on this. So it became like basically a national holiday to celebrate her birthday. And then, so it must have been his grandmother, because we can't go in there yet, I don't think. Because then his mother's birthday is in a different part of the year. Oh, should I do a search for spiders? Oh, apparently there's one right by us. Yeah, so her birthday was in a different part of the year, and she's like, hey, let's just celebrate my mom's birthday, because it's in a really good time of year. You know, April is much more pleasant than, I think it was January or December or something. And it just, I don't know. Yeah, it was springtime. Everybody's happy. So, and then now it's Willem Alexander. And his birthday is like 2 days off of, I guess it would have been his grandmother's birthday. So it moved from like the 26th to the 28th. And what is today? Let's see. Today's the 18th. Oh, okay. So we're like 10 days away from King's Day. Woo woo. We're about 10 days away. Koningadag. Next Thursday. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Same day
Oh,
as the
9 days.
anniversary starts.
Nay, the anniversary starts this week.
Anyway, that's this Thursday. 1 week after that.
A week after the anniversary starts. So I guess it's not the 28th. It must be the 27th? Anyway, let's talk to the Bjornie. She says that was good work against the spiders. Do you think Bingo is done speaking with the eagles yet? I mean, he could probably speak to them for years. Are you kidding? But the eagles would probably get tired. All right, he says, I have had a lovely conversation with Landreval and Meneldor, but I have learned something most troubling, and it has brought our chat to an end. They are quite delightful fellows, if you ask this hobbit, and their patience with my questions was really quite extraordinary. I asked them some details concerning what it must be like to fly, and they were very good-natured with their response. In fact, Landreval launched directly into the air and flew a brief circuit over the hills to demonstrate his form to me, and it was really something. But when he returned to Earth, he told me he saw something troubling, a cluster of brightly colored tents and canopies clustered in the Brownlands. Enemies are massing along the river, and they will surely attack the men of Stangard. We have to warn them. So, we are to bring Landreval's warning to Sabert at the east gate of Stangard. And Landreval and Meneldor have nothing left to say to us. Just checking. Well, you know, I know a secret path to Stangard. Why don't I do that? So I've got, I use Travel Window 2 here. And I had one of my milestones, which is this group down here, set to Stangard. And once in a while, I would click on my personal milestone instead of my group travel. And I'm like, I'm in Stangard. Where's everybody else? Like, burp. Hey, Dame Hyvatia, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Fair enough. Let's see. Okay, so we need to go tell the guy at the gate. So, I love Hunter Travel because you could just like bip around so fast. It's lovely. Oh, won't be long. You have to go get groceries soon. Well, you can see the new hair while you're here real quick. Woo, it's all short. All right, Sabert.
Our mission is
He says, you again. Was I not clear enough the first time? He listens impatiently as you tell him what Landreval saw from high above, an army of foes gathering in the Brownlands. Eagles, skin-changing bearfolk, nosy halflings far from home. You keep odd company, and there's no need for you to bring them here. The men of Stangard will face whatever foe tomorrow brings. Good day to you, and may it bring you and your peculiar friends elsewhere. Well, he's a butt. Bingo. He says, this is terrible. He doesn't believe us. Dornings and eagles give the warning, and Rohirrim ignore it. The enemies are massing on their doorstep. We will have to do something about this ourselves. So when the Bingo Bofffin quests originally came out, they came out a week at a time. It was like this, serial adventure. And so we have just finished what would have been that week's adventure. And so then it would be ready. Then the following week, we would get the next one, which is Enter the Easterlings. And it's recommended that you be level 75. Now, because we are level cap 75 on this server, at some point, the bingo quests will end for us, and we will have to wait for our next level cap, and then the bingo quest will begin again. So we'll finish here.
The
But
men
we
of
are
Stangard
into next
will
week
not
on this
listen to
server.
our
There we go.
warning.
So yeah, I think it's probably going to be once it's like, you know, you must be level 76 to complete or whatever, or something like that. All right, so the men of Stangard will not listen to our warning that an army gathers on their doorstep. Either they do not believe us, or they think we have the strength to survive, or they think they have the strength to survive this threat. I do not know if that is the case. Excuse me. From Landerval's description, it sounds as if the army encamped in the Brownlands is a large one. We should see what we can do about it. You may not have realized it, but when we went to Mirkwood with the Golden Host, I learned a thing or two about what it takes to prepare an army on the march. And I may be able to apply that knowledge to the army in the Brownlands. You tell Bingo that he seemed more preoccupied with his stomach during your sojourn into Mirkwood. Well, appearances can be deceiving, can't they? Anyway, I heard from Prestidier that armies march on their stomachs. I was simply corroborating that with my personal experience. To the Brownlands! So we need to go talk to him at an outpost that is on the edge of the Brownlands. And I don't think we've been down there. Now, hang on, I do have a campfire that'll get us partway there. So we were wandering around here recently. So I got the travel to Stangard so there is a hunter travel spot in each zone, basically. You know, each of these maps. So the Great River map here, the travel that I could get as a hunter takes us to Stangard, which is where we are. So there's no other hunter travel, you know, those sorts of things. But there is a campfire fight down, must be here. And we were wandering around, and I went ahead and set my campfire. I'm pretty sure I set it to there. Parth Celebrant. Is that the right place? Yeah. That's that way. Yeah, it's going to be down here somewhere. Sweet. So and it'll cut off a little bit of the journey. So, because our kinship is currently also in this area. Oh, that's a kinship name I haven't seen. You're summoning. You're funny. Siglavasaro. Interesting. Anyway, so because on Treebeard here, it's a smaller population because it's a newer server for one, and it's also a VIP server, so you have to be a subscriber of some sort in order to have access to the server. Yeah, it's just a smaller population because of that, and yeah, it's I enjoy it because I don't know, you just kind of see the same people over and over again. You kind of get like this small village kind of feeling to it. I like it. So when I see somebody, a kinship name that I haven't seen before, I'm like, oh, who are they? Where'd they come from? I'm going to grab these branches. Oh, sweet, a stable master we haven't found before. Hello.
Welcome, my friend.
Let me make your acquaintance. Oh, hey, should I set down here? It seems the wrong direction, though, for our kinship, so I think I won't. I think I'll leave it. Oh, although we're going to miss on Saturday. Oh, well. That's okay. All right, we're going to go find Bingo. He's down here somewhere. And I have a new deed. Go explore this area. It will happen. We are going to miss on Saturday. We have a conflict. Yeah, assuming the house is put back together by then. Put back together enough. So oh yeah, so the next thing that we're doing, because it's just, you know, we don't rest. Are you getting that calendar? Oh, I didn't realize you were in combat. My apologies. Okay. We're trying to create an outdoor space for the cats. So, we don't actually want the cats to go roaming around the neighborhood. Where are you headed to? Seems like Bingo is this way. Oh, is there Kalinard or something over here? Oh, we've discovered Tick Bot Talk. Well, that's something I don't know if I've ever seen before. I can't have not discovered it before. Because I think we've done all the deeds down here before, so I'm sure I must have seen it before. Interesting. Anyway, cats, outdoors. Working on getting an outdoor space for the cats. And So that's what B4 has actually been working on. So that'll be exciting because we've got a cat door. We had installed a cat door installed into the wall so they can go outside, but we've kept it locked, much to their chagrin, this whole time. And we're going to put together like basically a little, you know, enclosure that they can then go, go out the cat door and find their way out into the outside, but in a controlled manner. So that'll be good because, especially good because one of them got out the other night. Casper. Hello, stable master. Thank you for making my acquaintance. Here we go. So yes, Mr. I'm sleeping in the sun on the couch over there. He got out the other night because the door it doesn't latch all the way sometimes this time of year. So he found his way out. That was an adventure we could have done without. But he came back home safe and sound as far as we could tell. So we're gonna try and get him out that way the next time instead of out the front door. All right, so Bingo says, I have learned something about the Rohirrim already. It seems they will not believe in a danger until it is almost upon them. The men here know of the enemy encamped in the Brownlands, but they do not send word back to them. But do they send word to the men back in Stangard? It seems not. I am put a little more at ease by the strong walls of Ethelberg, which is where we are. But if the army is as large as Landreval said, they will still not be enough. Still, at least the men of Stangard will have some warning if anything does happen. After all, Ethelberg lies between the army and the outpost we just left, at least for now. I cannot help it. I am still nervous. I think you should take the fight to the foes that gather in the Brownlands. I will stay here and speak to the Rohirrim. Perhaps one of them will give me a message I can bring to Stangard to convince them of the danger. All right, let's go find some enemies and see if we can disperse. It's so funny. I've been playing as a VIP for a little while, and so I'm used to having like my mailbox on the go and things like that. And we've been playing with a friend of ours, and she's not doing VIP at this time because she's brand new. You know, well, not brand new. I mean, she played like 15 years ago, and then and now she's coming back. So still, getting the lay of the land, as it were. So we are helping like offload her extra stuff because she doesn't have VIP and she's doing the free-to-play thing. And so I pay a lot more attention to things like mailboxes now. I never noticed them before. Ooh, I got a quest item. I got a blue token found on a sorcerer. It bears writing I cannot comprehend. Maybe someone at Ethelberg will know about it. Well, I'll just tuck that in a pocket somewhere and we'll check that out later. Oh, hey, I see some branches and a couple of interesting looking people. Oh, so I watched Corey Olsen, the Tolkien professor, who streams on here on Fridays. And also he does a bunch of Lotro streams, it seems like. But anyway, so he has gotten a character out into these areas. And man, he is in love with the outfits on these people, especially like the Corsairs, how bright and colorful they are. So now when I see some of the brighter, more flamboyant outfits, I think, oh, Corey would like that. This one's not so flamboyant. Although he's got some nice shoulder action going on there. Very flared. Oh, there's an archer. I apologize. I got still a little something going on there. Oh, hey, and there's some branches over this way, and there's somebody standing on them, so I might, do something about that. Not in sight. Oh, funny. Okay. What happened to the archer? Oh, they just stood over on the side of the rock waiting for us, I guess. It's funny that they didn't come to me, though, at all. Well, there we go. Well, there's another one. Let's take that guy out. Sniper arrow. Yeah, that's what I got. It is really funny watching the enemies have skills that are not too different from mine. I'm like, yeah, I can understand you using that skill. It's pretty effective. I find good use of it. I'm gonna go say hi to this archer. Oh, hey, my thing's off. I try to keep my quick slot bars locked, because otherwise I have a terrible habit of sliding things off when I try to click something. I slide. Yeah. Oh, I got a parchment sealed with blue wax. Take the secret orders to Bingo in Ethelberg. Okay. Dame Hypatia says, the hunter outfit you get in Rivendell. So many colors, right? Green and gold and yellow. I don't think I have that one this time. Sometimes I do pick that up. Because, yeah, and it's really bright. And the stats are nice, you know. But I think I've gotten beyond that, so I don't have... Yeah, I didn't... I've started wearing basically crafted stuff most of the time. Because crafted stuff is often better than landscape or barterable. Although I did get... I think... Do I still have... I might have a couple of things that were... I did barter for some stuff in Moria. Oh, it's probably gone by now then, because that's a long time ago.
What have you found out?
All right, he says, so enter the Easterlings. He says, I spoke with a few of the men here, and they shared my concern that the men of Stangard are not taking this threat seriously. It sounds as if many of the men in this land were sent here by their king for various slights and offenses, and are perhaps not the staunch defenders the kingdom most needs. What have you found out? You hand him the secret orders. He reads the parchment quickly and goes as white as a sheet. He says, oh no! It sounds to me as if a secret force of Easterlings plans to creep around Ethelberg and attack Stangard in secret. We have to go back and warn them if it's not already too late. Dum dum dum. All right. Would you like a... I'm going to port us back to Stangard. All right, let's see if they'll listen to us this time. I'm not going to put money on that. There was a hunter outfit that I got somewhere else. Sorry, there's a car out front. Oh, I think it's delivery. There was an outfit. Where did I get it from? So I think it was like a level 65 or level 75, 85. It's one of those. And you get it at the what are those? The skirmish camp. And it was like purple and like lots of purple, bright purple. But there was other stuff like black. It was really cool. And in fact, I actually put it into my wardrobe because I was like, this is neat. I like this one. I can't remember what it was. Dame Hypatia says, I have the lock for my bars on the dot of the number pad. Yeah, you never use it. No accidents, but it's there at your fingertips. Right, and that's what I do too. I've got it. So my number pad's over on this side of my keyboard. And so I use the plus. I key bound it to the plus button over here. So that way I can do that. But I was moving stuff around, or I was messing around with my mounts, and I keep my mounts on my bars. So I forgot to relock it. So that is the only danger of doing things like that, right? All right, gate guard.
What brings you to these lands?
He says, you are very persistent. What will it take for you to leave us and not return? He takes the parchment from you and reads it slowly. When he looks up at you once more, his mocking glare has been replaced by something else. A look of fear. He says, I don't know what to say. No such attack has occurred, which means you have brought us this warning in time. And you did so despite my harsh words. I hope you will accept my apology, but this is a rough land, and men must be guarded in their dealings with others. If you are willing to help us prepare for the attack that must be coming, I would be most grateful. Will you ask your friend Bingo if he is willing to help? Sure. Bingo is too nice. He will say yes. Going into lurk mode. All right. Enjoy. Good luck with the groceries. We'll see you when you get back. All right. Bingo says, of course, I think we should help the men of Stangard defend their outpost. I will help them survive the surprise attack, and you can count on me to document the excitement for my account. Sure. All right. Off we go.
Outpost of Stangard is
All right.
endangered by a
Instance.
small
Enter
party
the
of Easterling
Easterlings.
raiders. Can the
All right, he
outpost
says,
be
the
defended?
guard from the front, he says, we may not have much time before the Easterling raiding party attacks Stangard. We must make the most of the time we have available if we are to be prepared. Okay, so he's going to say, they are familiar with making preparations for war, the men of Rohan are. There are barrels of weapons atop the hill. We will carry them down here. Yeah, we have some familiarity with that. We will gather up fallen weapons wherever they may be. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Some of the men have let their combat skills suffer. They could use some training. What, you want me to train them? All right. We'll need buckets of water brought to the watchtowers in case the Easterlings wield fire. We can carry those up from up the hill. Okay. Guys, got quite the laundry list, but sure. And finally, we need to clean up dirty dishes left from the noontime meal. Okay. Hey, Bill Slowski, welcome. How are you doing? You changed your hair. I did. Thank you for, yeah. I cut it off and I have it set aside for donating to the hair charity folks. So, yeah. So, new hair, new stuff, new times. So, looks good. Thank you. I'm having fun with it. I haven't decided long term if I'm going to grow it back out, if I'm going to keep it fluffy, or am I going to, like, do some, like, sweepy stuff. You know, or like I don't know what I'm doing with my hair yet, but for now it's just fun and short and easy to take care of, which is nice. So I might do that. Do I have the link for the add-on page for? Are you talking about plugins? Perhaps. Is that what you're looking for? Let me know if that's not what you're looking for. But yeah, oh my gosh, I love plugins. Yay, plugins, that's it. So there you go. LoTroInterface.com is kind of your go-to for Lotro plugins in general. Yeah, and then there's some list of recommended ones if there's others also who don't have a lot of plugins yet and are like, whoa, what would be something that might be useful? I can just give you a quick rundown of what I use. So up here at the top with all this, all these little stats and things listed across the top, that is Titan Bar, and it has a lot of things that you can adjust. I have currently shown wallet, backpack info, player location, time, and day and night time. But you can change, you can add reputation, shared storage, vault, renown, track your items, durability, equipment, player, all sorts of info that you can have on there. And even within each of those, there's some flexibility. For example, I have the wallet here, and I have indicated which things I want it to show me when I hover over it. And so it's showing me festival tokens because that's what's important to me. And then I can have them, so you have three options with that. You can have it show you on hover over. You can have it put it completely on your bar like I've done with my Figments of Splendor. And I also went ahead and did that with the Motes of Enchantment and my Embers of Enchantment because I kept getting close to cap on those. So it could be on your bar, it could be on hover over, or not at all. So you've got some options you can play with on there. Another one that I super love is this little suitcase down here, just underneath Will and Whisker. And it is the Travel Window 2. Fantastic. As a hunter, I have a lot of travel skills, and this allows me to have them all in one place. I can organize them the way I want. So for me, I've organized them kind of from like lower level area to higher level area within all of my group travel. So that's what I have first. And then I have my campsite fire because I consider that also group travel because I can take my fellowship. And then I have the things that are specific to just me, like Return to Mirkwood, that just takes me. It doesn't take my fellowship. And so all of my personal milestone skills or personal skills that I bought that only apply to me are there. And then I've got like the stuff that are housing related. So I've got my personal house, my premium house, my kinship house, and then kinship member's house, because that's actually where I go the most often is my kinship member's house because she has those crates and I check those every day that I'm on. So so I love being able to use the travel window too. And you've got some options there. If you right click on it, it gives you a bunch of things. So you can change it to like, I have the icon grid. I love the icon grid. It works for me. Some people prefer the text list because they know things. They just want to see the words and click on it. There's also the carousel, or there's a pull down list. So you've got some stuff there. Like I just love Travel Window too. That's one of my favorites. I'm also using Buff Monitor over here. So when I eat something, so like if I eat these honey cakes here, it's going to show up. Do you see how it just turned blue there? So what that does is I've set it up so it tells me what it is, and then it tells me how long. That automatically happens. They'll tell you how long it is, and I love that. So if I'm like in and out of combat, and I want to make sure my foods are all topped up, I can see, oh, it's, you know, it's like in the last 30 seconds, we're out of combat. Let me do my food real quick, that kind of thing. I also use Deed Tracker, which B4 has created. And he'll be, I think, talking about that a little bit more during his stream today. Yep, he's doing some more tweaks and things to that. So I was looking at some skirmish stuff the other day. So yeah, so I really like Deed Tracker. I use that a lot. I still have, oh yeah, so I was gonna say I still have that, but it's not actually picking up. How funny. There it is, Social Guy, because I have 2 emotes that I was still working on, although I may have finished, or I might not have finished. Let's see, and then I have also Songbook. I use Songbook a lot when I'm, especially on Fridays for Green Dragon Friday, when I'm performing music. And then I've also started using, not Lyrical, but the other one. Hang on, let me pull up the plugin manager. Let's see. So if it's gray, I don't have it loaded on this character. And if it's dark gray, I don't. If it's lighter gray, then it is actively here. Like alt inventory is here. And so if I want to look something up, it's right there. Buff monitor, Deed Tracker, Festival Buddy. Festival Buddy is really handy, and B4's done some add-on, like extra stuff for that, and that's really cool. Hunter, the Hunter Deadly Decoy, I think I don't need to load that anymore because I'm not currently using the Hunter Deadly Decoy. Lotropad is so useful to me. I'm the kind of person that, like, I need to write something down, so I grab a little scrap of the first thing I can find and I scribble it out. So Lotropad is really useful for me because it gives me a place to write these things down in the game. It's a little bit better than sticky notes or whatever everywhere. Lyrical? No, yeah, wait, no, it's the other one, right? Lyrical? Poetical. Poetical is the one I've started using, and I really like the structure and the setup of it. So that one, you can put basically words in. So like if you, it just goes into your say, but you can be like, it's a great place to put lyrics that you want to say. So that way you could be playing something using Songbook, and then you just use Poetical or the other one I had at Lyrical, and you just click through to the next line that you've already written out, and that way you don't have to be typing it all out while you're playing. So that's really, really super handy. Social Guy, I don't think I want to load that anymore. We can skip that for now. Titan Bar, like I said, I love it. You know, if I'm gonna do Songbook, I might as well switch it over to Poetical instead. Okay, and start putting stuff in there. Titan Bar we talked about, and Travel Window 2. Yeah, okay, so those are all the ones that I am using. And I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, you can modify what you're doing. So like Travel Window 2, I have it checkmarked to load for all my characters. So every character I have, when they come on, Travel Window 2 is going to be there for them. You can, though, specify instead a little bit more detailed, like we did have with the Hunter Deadly Decoy. I only had my hunters checkmarked. So like I can say, okay, have it load for this character. But I unchecked her, so it's loading for none of my characters. So you do have that, and this is within the game. This is just the plugin manager built into the game. So that's a way that you can modify stuff from in here and not necessarily out there. What is Waypoint? Waypoint is, how do I describe it? It's let me see if it has words. It directs you to a set of coordinates with an arrow. So, let's see. Let me go ahead and load this for me. All right, so let's see. I need some coordinates. Okay, so I'm at, I can't remember how to use Waypoint. Honey, I need your help. How do I use Waypoint? What are the words? Oh, sometimes in the options it'll tell you what to do. Okay, so yeah. You want to put it in chat for me? And I'll just type it in. I'll just copy paste. Hang on a second, I'll show you. It basically gives you an arrow that shows you how to get to where you're... Yeah, okay. You can do something like this. So /way space target, and then you put the coordinates of where you're trying to go. So if I put that in my chat, which you can't see, it is... So now you see there's this arrow here in the center of the screen, because that's just where I happen to have it. And it's trying to say, if you want to go to that place, go this way. But it doesn't change as you go. So like I'm like running all over the place and it doesn't know where to go. So I have to hit refresh and it's like, oh no, it's over here. So now I'm going to go over here. And now I hit refresh and it's like, okay, it's over here. So it doesn't refresh as you go, but it can like get you headed in that direction. Oh, hey, it's got little checkered flag on it. Oh, that's cute. I've arrived. Yay, good job, me. Yeah, B4 really loves Waypoint. He finds it super useful. I don't use it as often as he does, obviously. I don't know. It doesn't work with the way my brain works or something. But that's fine. I'm gonna uncheck that. And how do I make it go off of my screen? Make it go away. On the upper right of this arrow. Oh, there's a little teeny box with a plus. Okay, there we go. It's gone. Yeah. Dogs 2018 points out it's nice for treasure caches. Yeah, exactly. If you are looking for something and like you know that you have the coordinates, but you just cannot figure out where that is, and you just want something to help you out, it's super handy for things like that. In the deed tracker, which one? Like what? Just give me one. Area door, like any of your exploration deeds. Explorer of Swanfleet, for example. If you hover over it, nope, that doesn't work. Dweller, there you go. If you hover over it, it gives you the coordinates of the places that you're trying to go in order to complete that deed. And so you could use it to, so I think you can tooltip. Yeah, if you do H, which is how you pull off a tooltip, and you could use Wayfinder in combination with this. I think that is live. If I click that, if I had I just unloaded Wayfinder. I think. If Waypoint is loaded, you can use that in conjunction with Deed Tracker and it'll do the thing. So yeah, you use the Deed Tracker. I never knew that. Yeah, because he's such a big fan of Waypoint, he went ahead and included that in the thing. Oh yeah, it is trying to show me where it is. Hey, it's 10,000 meters away. All right, we're gonna get rid of that though, because I don't want to. I'm not doing that right now. But yeah, so it's cool how it just is like go that way, and then if you're like, I still can't find it, you can refresh it and be like over here, and stuff like that. So Sarah 1992, hello all, hello, welcome. Yeah, before it says you do need to have the setting. Deed tooltips. Let's see. So under Deed Tracker, so he's put a lot of functionality in Deed Tracker. So you've got a lot of here. So you see how it's about. It'll just have like the description of it, and then if you click on the second one, the options. He's included a lot of various options in here. Oh, in fact, I need to update that. We're at 75. Save. So you do need to have the setting, deed tooltips. Here it is down here. Show all objectives, not just summary, and it is experimental, is what it says. So you'll want to make sure you go into your plugin manager in the game and make sure you check that in order to get it to do that for you. So Saren says, was taking a shower, freshening up. Is there a guide on how to use plugins? So each plugin is, it's all volunteers who are creating these plugins. So each person does things differently. What you'd want to do, and Saren, I'll go ahead and put this back in the chat. The plugins, if you go to lowterinterface.com, and you're looking at a specific plugin there, there's usually a whole bunch of information. Especially if you scroll down, there'll be a whole bunch of stuff from whoever the developer of the plugin is, about like how to use it, some tips, guide on how to use it. So, excuse me, my nose is really itchy. So that's kind of what you would need to do, is to go and look at each plugin and see what the developer of that plugin had to say about it. Some people will have like ridiculously in-depth guides on things. Like for the deed tracker, is getting a little bit into the weeds, and this is something I happen to know, but it doesn't seem like it's common knowledge. For the deed tracker, you can go and use not Lotro interface, but the other one, Lotro compendium. Lotro plugin compendium. No, companion.
Yes.
I get compendium and companion mixed up all the time. I wish one of them had not named itself that way. Anyway, there's the one where you can, maybe you can put the link to this in the chat. Thank you. So there's documentation. So yeah, let me rewind this a little bit then. B4 said, hey, for the deed tracker, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Let me give you a whole bunch of information. So he put an entire page of documentation, like a website almost, at deedtracker.lifebeyondtheshire.com. On there, you can see how to import all the deeds that your character has already done by using Lotro Companion. So he has a whole section on that, on how to use Lotro Companion, which is a whole different thing, to get the information downloaded about your character and shove it into Deed Tracker. So you don't have to go and check things off for a character that you've already done. For example, when he was creating Deed Tracker, I had like a level 105 character who had done quite a bit, as you might guess. And I'm like sitting there, side by side with the deed log and the deed tracker and going, page by page. Okay, class, go into the class. And I'm like, this, completed this. And, going down the list, and it was very tedious work. Then he introduced this thing where you could basically go, hey, Lotro Companion, give me this information, and then just you upload it, you put it into the right place on the thing. He does all the instruction on the line, and it checks all those boxes for you. Great. Now it puts in the date of whatever date you do that, for things that are new that have not been checked previously. So it may look a little wonky if you're the kind of person who really likes to see what date you completed something, but that's a kind of in the weeds sort of thing. Anyway. So I know that's kind of a long answer to your question, Saren, that, yeah, there isn't a guide on how to use plugins, but each plugin has its own documentation on how to use it, and some of it can be extremely extensive, or some of it might just be like, load it and use it, good luck, yeah, so I guess the thing is, though, is if you have any questions on how to use a specific plugin, B4 does a show right after mine called Plugging Along, where he talks about plugins. And he will absolutely be able to help you with, like, plugin questions, at least. He is very knowledgeable about them, so if that helps. Anaphilis points out that Waypoint in combination with MoreMap is also really good. It's so good. Just clicking instead of typing coordinates is so comfy. That's awesome. So yeah, and then as you noticed before, put the link to how to, the guide on how to import using the Lotro Companion to import your stuff into Deed Tracker. So hopefully that answers that question. But as you can see, yes, I have a lot of plugins. I've experimented with a lot of plugins. I think that's the other thing too, is if you're looking for a plugin, part of it is, things like this, where you've got kind of some crowdsource information where people might jump into the hat and be like, oh, I love Titan Bar. Oh, I love Travel Window too. Whatever. Fibro Jedi also has a list of his favorites. And Fibro Jedi is a great resource of Lotro. He's got an article out there on like his 15 favorite plugins at this point. The list keeps growing. And so that's also a good place to kind of get some ideas. I use the Lotro compendium, which is a way to update your plugins if they need updating, or if you want to add a plugin, you can just do it from there, and it puts everything to the right files for you. You don't have to like download; it just does it the downloading for you. So that's really handy. And so that's also kind of a place where you can be like, well, I'm looking for something to do with pets, and so is there something with the word pets in the name, you know, and you just type that in, and it kind of gives you like a little list. So that's because those are kind of like vetted a little bit, like they've already been, you know, people are already using them and they've been around. So that's another useful option to figure out what plugins you might want to use. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like there's a lot of good plugins like Alt Inventory and what's the other one? Kiki Inventory. They're both really good. And I wouldn't say one is better than the other. I think they're both really good. I prefer one over the other, but that's just because that's what I'm used to. So I think that's part of it too, is just figuring out what helps you with the game that you're playing in a way that you want to play. Like, I have a lore master, and I got the carousel wheel of how to pick your companion pet, and it just wasn't working for me. Like, it wasn't, yeah. I wasn't finding it helped me do things faster in the game. So I'm like, okay, we'll just won't use that. You know what I mean? So I went back to sticking them all in the bars and, you know, all that stuff. So I think it's just kind of sometimes it's trial and error and seeing what you like. Like I have also a pets one that I installed, and it wasn't really, you know, satisfying my needs. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna worry about it. But maybe in the future a different one will come out and be like, oh, I like that, you know. Seems like there's a little bit of a resurgence in Lotro plugins happening right now, even though the information that the plugins has access to has not changed in like 10, 12 years, something like that. The thing is called Lua, and it's basically what the game, what Lotro allows a plugin developer to have access to, and what a plugin itself can have access to, and that is like, you know, this. But since then, new things have come out, like the carryalls. It doesn't have the ability to look inside of a carryall because that didn't exist at that time. And the Lewis stuff was put together by somebody at, you know, at Lotro, at SSG, or maybe in Turbine at the time. And it was kind of like a pet project of theirs. And that person is no longer there. And so somebody else would have to take that on. And there's just been so many other priorities that nobody has been able to take that on yet. So I know Severlin, who's the executive producer of Lotro, so he's like the guy in charge, and he has mentioned that it's something they would like to do, but there are other things that just keep becoming, you know, end up stepping in front of that, and they haven't been able to do that. Because part of the problem is you have to be careful with software, because people could use that as an opportunity to do something bad. And so you have to be really, really, really careful if you're letting people have access to your information. And as it stands, you know, what's been done seems to be safe enough. But, yeah, you know, adding to that, you know, it adds complication, complexity. Okay, so Bingo says, what does Bingo say? He says, finally, a task for which I am well suited. I will take care of the dirty dishes, and you can handle some of the tasks that require heavy lifting. I will find you when I have finished. Okay. Dishes beware, I will clean you up in no time. All right, the Bjorning says, I am not doing any of those things. She's like, what? What was that noise? I hear the sound of fighting. Yeah, that's more her style. Let's go check it out. Oh, hey, Landerval. What up? What is that? You mean who? Rosenbloom, this town is under attack. I have subdued these warriors under his feet, but more approach. Prepare yourself. Subdued, indeed. What a creature! I've never seen anything that might hope to compare. To think that such a majestic creature could come to the aid of my people, it defies expectation. And this woman, this Bjorning, she too fights for Rohan. We will stand together and cast back our foes. From this point forward, we stand as friends and allies. All right. Let's help him out. Saren asks, do the legacy servers have access to the new leveling intro? We do. Yes. Basically, anything that's within our level range, we have access to. So because we're up to level 75 on this server, and the new area is like level, what was it, 0 through 35, I think, we were able to have access to that and play with that. Yeah, in fact, it was cool because I created a new character because I wanted to go check it out on, on Leveled. And it was around the time that they added the new race and class combos. And so I started a Hobbit lore master to go try that out. All right. I circled the town from above and so saw no more foes nearby. Wow. Having vowel sound problems here. Then we are safe. We have repelled the attack. All of you have my thanks. Oh, look, you can see the curse down from here. That's cool. I didn't know about that. You could see the statues right in there in the background. That's so cool. Eh. All right, bingo's done. He says, oh, hello, Landerval. When did you arrive? Well, let's see. What's that? The battle has already happened? I thought I heard something happening over the splashing of the suds, but I told myself it was simply my imagination. Well, at least the dishes are clean. Still, it would have been exciting to see Landreval and Langhar in action. I do not mean to discount your own contribution. I know you're quite impressive in battle yourself. Indeed. Dogs is also lurking. Let's see. Oh yeah, and B4 says yes. Before the Shadow is available on this server. Yep. So, and Sabert says, I cannot stop thinking about that Bjorning woman. She cut a most impressive swath through the Easterling invaders, did she not? Such strength and veracity. Indeed. Don't get your hopes up, dude. She's not interested. She says, the Easterling force has been defeated, and the Kundalar and the Brownlands wait for word of victory that will never come. I'm glad that Stangard still stands, but even more than that, I'm glad that the men have been put in their place. They will no longer sneer at the Lion of Bjorn. Do not spread this around, but it seems to me that perhaps Sabert has replaced his feelings of disgust with some other feelings entirely. I do not know which I find more irritating, but I think I liked it better when he feared my people and was not intent on impressing me. Thank you for your help, and I bid you and Bingo good fortune on your journey. I will return to Grimbjorn in the Vales of Anduin with news of the Easterling presence in the Brownlands. I may have more work to do on that score. I look forward to it. Alright, so she's going to head off back to what she's got to do. And he says, Bingo says, we did it! Stangard is safe. And I think we also taught the men here a valuable lesson about respect. Perhaps the next time well-meaning strangers come to them with warnings, they will sit up and take notice. Or at least remain polite. He says, I need to come up with some titles for this chapter of my book. Perhaps A Lesson in Friendship, A Time for Trust, Evil from the East, Dishes and Division. This is not easy. If you have any suggestions, I am all ears. We also need to decide where to go next, but I have not yet decided. There are a few possibilities, but I want to ensure we make the right choice and do not rush into our next course without weighing all of our options. Do you know what I mean? All right, so next week, Bingo's Burden. And it says recommended level 78, which makes me think that given that we're level 75 on the server, that one is probably not going to be available to us. But we'll see. Yep, and I am correct. So what will happen is when our level cap goes up on the server, Bingo will be waiting for us here, and we'll come to him and start the next set of the adventures. Sorry, I'm like just a little distracted. There's some battle going on over there. I'm like, what's going on? All right. Well, there we go. So we have caught up with Bingo after only an hour. Now you're getting in on it. Cannot win. I think that might be ahead of where we are, isn't it? Or is it behind? Did we already do that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, we already did that. Okay, so, sorry. This, like I said earlier, this is where our kinship is in the questing. We're doing stuff in Stangard, and so yeah, it's funny because I'm like, wait, what's going on in the background? Have we done that yet? Have we not done that yet? We fed the horses. Like, we're very good at feeding horses. All right. So we have another 45 minutes or so. And what do we want to do? Oh, you were asking about Before the Shadow. So then I did a little bit of it with my new character, and that was fun to do it on level. But then I really wanted to go back and see it again. And these are our completionist characters, and so we really wanted to do it also with these characters. So we went in at like, level 70 or whatever with these characters and did Before the Shadow, which was kind of funny. So we were way over leveled and everything was super easy. But it was definitely kind of fun though, in the sense that I got to just enjoy the storyline without having to worry about like getting defeated also. So that was all right. I enjoyed that. So we did, and in fact we did a lot of that on stream. I tried to skip over some of the big spoilers on stream, but we did a lot of that on stream. Between festivals really is what happens. That's when we do these things. Speaking of using Lotropad, I've copied and pasted into here when things are happening. Oh, Myrtle Mint was already here. We're gonna delete that. And the Treebeard horse session started for those who have purchased that in the past, which is not us. Sad face. Okay, the anniversary event starts April 20th. Today is April 18th. So in 2 days, so this Thursday will be the anniversary festival, and it is Lotro's 16th anniversary. So what you want to do, Lotro players, is you want to make sure that you log in sometime in like starting Thursday through the next 11 months. Make sure you log in at least once into your account. It doesn't matter any character, whatever, just make sure you log in, because what that'll do is that'll increment your numbers. So for example, when we go to the when we get to the anniversary festival on Thursday, when I log in, it's going to give me my 6th year. It's going to give me my 6th year presents, because I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I don't log in, it'll just be like, well, you're still at 5. So it's going to wait till the next time I log in to give me my 6th. So if I don't log in for like 2 years, it'll be like, aha, here's your 6th. So it doesn't count the years that you don't log in. So make sure somewhere in those 11 months that you log into your Lotro. That way you can increment that. And even if you don't aren't doing anything with it, it's fine. You just, that way, if you come back to the game in the future someday, you're not like, oh, I wish I'd logged in. Just be nice to your future self, just in case. So, but we are not on Thursday yet. We are on Tuesday. So we have an hour of frivolity. So we could
Go check out the allegiances.
Allegiances.
4 of them are Mordor and beyond, but one of them is a Belfast.
Okay. All right. I don't know hardly anything about this.
Learn it together.
So we could learn this all together, y'all. Sure. Okay. What do I need to do? Where do I start? What do I do?
Let's go to Trestle Bridge.
Okay. I am going to take us, hopefully, to Trestle Bridge. I should have that. Tornhead. Trestle Bridge. There it is. That's why I have them in, like, level order, basically. So next week, we will definitely be doing the anniversary festival together during my stream. Which means Affadil has the week off if he wants. Okay, now what do we do?
Go to one of these places. How about Steep Set?
Okay, we're going to try going to Steep Set and see what happens. That's pretty. We haven't spent a lot of time in the dwarf places. Gundabad. Hey, isn't there somebody here that we're supposed to buy like a travel skill from? I seem to remember on one of Druid's Fire's things, she was very much like, make sure you buy that travel skill.
You are welcome among us, friend.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff on that person. It's good to bad missions stuff. No, I don't know. All right.
So it looks like an introductory question.
Oh, okay. We have an introductory quest here with Horan. Let's find out.
Put your back to the
The
past
Hall
and to
of
the wind.
Vernozal. Are you here to join the Zelruka? Boy, I'm gonna have to change my mouth. Zelruka in retaking Gundabad. We are in need of a hunter. Well, that's a good start. To pledge to the Zelruka and assist us on missions. Have you met Zova yet? She is Prince Ingor's top advisor. You should speak with her in Vernozal. She can be found nearby. Oh, we're in Vernozal. I bet that's not how you pronounce it.
How about
Vernozal?
Well, let's say the ZAL is Zal for hall.
Zal.
There
It's like a zal, like a hall. Vernozal. It's a nozzle. Hey, here's Zova. I've heard so much about you.
You are welcome.
Greetings, Hunter.
among
I am
us, friend.
Zova, advisor to Prince Ingor. I have heard about you. Really? From the prince himself. What? I think we may be ahead of ourselves. That's okay. It would seem you have been very helpful to the Zelruka cause for the past few weeks. Well, of course I have. I've been everywhere. Have you come to Vernozal to assist the Zelruka once again and to make certain our goal of complete triumph in Gundabad? Prince Ingor is quite busy, but if you hail him, I'm certain he'll make time to speak with you. All right. Okay. So, yes. So what we're going to do is this is a Gundabad-related faction that we can get some reputation with and do some stuff with. But we don't have to have been to Gundabad yet, as you may have guessed. We have not yet been to Gundabad. But I hear the prince is this way, or at least Affadil seems to think the prince is this way. Oh, hey, there's a throne and there's a Prince Ingor listed up there. Let's look at this guy. Hang on, we gotta take a look at him. Wow. Got quite the mustache going on there. No beard? Interesting. That's unusual. Wait. Ah, hey, this guy's got a nice beard. Little sideburns going on. That's a better look. Like, if I was a dude, I probably would do sideburns. I think that'd be my thing. Just like, get some nice fur going on there. And that giant mustache, that's nice. Although I probably would still have fur in the front, too. Anyway, alright. Hey, Prince, let's hail you. He says, ah, we have much to discuss. Alright. Let's... I'm all ears. Ah, here we go. Alright, if you click on him, these things come up. How can I join the Zelruka clan allegiance? Well, yeah, I'm interested. He says you've come to the right place. Excellent. Pledge to the Zelruka clan and then speak with me again. So I need to navigate to the allegiance panel and pledge to the clan allegiance in Gundabad. Okay, so allegiance panel, I don't know where it is, but my guess, let's see if I'm right, is it's going to be in that little tick that's usually at the bottom of your, at the end of your bar. All right. And I don't know, maybe under, I don't know, I was thinking that too, character. Because this has skills, title, house, reputation, allegiances. Well, that's what we're doing, isn't it? Hey, Kato. All right, let's check out allegiances. Hey, the Zelruka clan. All right, it says, in addition to the Longbeards, the Zelruka dwarves of the east have an ancestral claim to Gundabad and the surrounding lands. King Durin II offered succor to the Zelruka dwarves who had lost their home to the same destruction that had caused the berg breaking at Gundabad. Now, a number of the Zelruka have made common cause with Durin to aid in the reclaiming of Gundabad, and make Gundabad their new home. Hey, I just noticed my closed captions are working. Like, all of a sudden. Excellent. So, if you are wanting to have closed captions on, there should be a a button over on the far end of your screen over there, little brackets with a CC in it. You should be able to click on that and get some closed captions. All right. Let's go ahead and join these guys. Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. Okay. So, I have 2 things I can claim. I have 1 thing I can claim. I can't claim nothing?
Those are future rewards.
Oh, these are future rewards. Well,
0.
I can't do this. What do I do now? Okay, so what do I do now? I need to go get some things. Oh, right. He did tell me to talk to him once that would finish that out. Hey, look, he's got a ring over his head with a sword. All right, Chapter 1, The Rightful Claim. He says, I am pleased that you have pledged to aid the Zelruka as we work to reclaim Gundabad. Under my command, the Zelruka will no longer be a wandering people. All right. As Durin II promised so long ago, Gundabad shall be the welcoming home of all Zelruka. Now, there's much work to be done. After a brave expedition through Matugard, we have secured this hall, Vernozal. There you go, I'll try to do that. It is a place for the Zelruka to gather as we work to reclaim the 3 peaks of Gundabad. This hall was once the nobles' court and a seat of power in Gundabad. Soon it will be a place of trade and commerce, as well as a refuge of safety for many frightful beasts and foes still lurk beneath the 3 peaks. So, your first task, familiarize yourself with this hall, explore, and speak with those that you see. So I have a large list of things to look, to go explore, and also people to talk to. Okay. And that'll give me some legendary item experience. That's nice. It'll give me... Ooh! Is that a travel skill? It'll give me a travel skill. Nice. And some tokens. I like tokens. I'm a fan. Okay. So, oh, and it was telling me about the Allegiance panel, which I just kind of skipped over. It says, this is the Allegiance panel. Here you can join allegiances, toggle your active allegiance, and track reward and advancement progress. Okay. All right, so, hey, Quartermaster. You are one of the people I would like to talk to. Tell me about yourself. He says, welcome. I am glad that you are assisting the Zelruka in Gundabad. Come see me here in Vernozal when Prince Ingor decides that you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts. Absolutely. And hey, I still want to gaze upon your pretty luscious beard action here. I still think I would probably get a little in the front if it was me. Now here's the deal. So, oh, hey, in case you weren't aware, they're adding some more avatar options currently for the race of man. That's what's going to come out first. And there's a whole bunch of beard options for male and female, which I think is really cool. Because it is a slight tangent, but so there are lots of bearded women in the real world. And it kind of makes me sad that they are often made fun of because of having a beard. Like, it's just what their body does, right? Their body makes a beard. So I have like kind of a hope that maybe people in Lotro will outfit their female humans with beards. And I think that would be really cool because like it would be possibly more acceptable in the game than people find it in real life, but then maybe it would be more affirming to those who have beards in real life, and it could be a nice little cycle of making that a little bit less like of a thing to laugh about, because yeah. So I think that would be, I think that's cool. Now I don't tend to play a lot of humans in Lotro, so in fact I think I have one, and she's over on Landreval, I think. She's a lore master. So I have to decide if I want to go and adjust her features, or if I just want to wait until it comes out, until there's more avatar options for, you know, like the characters that I play, which is basically my hobbits. Occasionally I play high elves, but most of the time I play hobbits. So yes, we do have to wait until they get to updating the Hobbit visuals, as before points out. They're doing one race at a time right now, is what it sounds like. So, yeah, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be cool. Look, there's Ozma. We've seen Ozma before. Okay, so Horan, what do you know?
Put your back
He
to
says,
the
"Oh, my
task
friend, we
and
have
to the
undertaken many
wind.
missions together, have we not?" Possibly, because I've done a lot of stuff with Ozma. So maybe I have with you too. He says, "Oh, we have. Okay, good. I will." You totally right on it, man. If we are to reclaim Gundabad for the Zelruka, I say we will adventure together a great deal more. There's much history to learn of the mountain home and old halls to explore beneath the three peaks. Speak with Ozma. I know how to do that. Or myself if you wish to carry out a mission. Okay. Totally. Oh, yeah. Horan, I think we have done missions together. All right, rock on. Quartermaster. Hey, Quartermaster.
Hey,
I'm here to assist Horan and Scoutmaster Ozma on important missions for Zelruka. If you assist us on these missions, I will certainly share the rewards with you. Fantastic. I like it. Hey, Zova, over here, that we talked to at the beginning. Hey, Zova.
Gundabad shall
Says,
be
"I
ours
knew
at
you would
last."
assist our cause. Advising Prince Ingor can be difficult at times, but is always worth the effort. He has a good heart and wishes only the best for his people. I am certain we will work closely together for you have his ear as much as I do." Cool. Yeah, can do. All right. We need to explore some areas. Okay, so this is the hall that we know. Can I mount? Oh, I can, but I can't do the kinds I like. I could get on a boar. Hang on a second. I gotta pull out a boar. All right, so mounts or a goat. I bet you I have a cute goat. Let me see what goats I have. There's the Elder Slade Battle Goat. Here, oh, sorry. Let me put this down where you guys can see it better. Yeah, okay. The goat of Farid Mithrin is always nice. That's a very lovely looking goat. I might end up going that one. Harvest Brew Goat is cute. That is the very first, just a little side note, the very first awarded mount that I got in Lotro was the Harvest Brew Goat. I had just started playing in January. And this is back in 2019. And there was a treasure hunt event. And so that was the very first event or, you know, of any sort that I encountered in Lotro. And I had my dwarf, and I was out there running around, and ended up, getting, I think it was the tokens. I had to save up the tokens, because they keep changing the event to make it different to get stuff. And there was only one goat available at the time. And so I saved up my tokens and got the Harvest Brew Goat, and so then I had that to ride around in the game with. So that was pretty cool. So I have a special affection for that particular goat. Now the prized nimble red-horned goat is quite nice. So, and the tame one too. Thorns Hall's good. Treasure laden goat is fun. Ooh, I do love the wild mountain goat though. That might match my outfit better too. So I'll tell you what, we're going to unlock my bar for a second. Stick the goat on there. Lock my bar again while I remember to do that. And we're gonna hop on a goat. Okay. Saren asks, did they remove Honor World? Yes, they did. So Ithel, they closed and told everybody to get their tunes off of there. And then when Honor got to max level, it was retired, and you had like 6 months to get your characters off. They did put it in like Twitter and in the forums. It was on the launcher a number of times. So I would say if you missed that, you didn't hear about that, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Check, I mean, because so the new Lotro.com website that Cord has put together has like ongoing news, so that could be a place to check. But there's always new news, so it would cycle down. You know, I mean, it would follow down. Okay, so there's a link that you could have followed, but if you didn't know that existed, you wouldn't know to follow it.
Yes, and not available.
Yeah. The characters are gone. What I'm saying though, in the future,
Yes.
for other servers,
Yes.
yes. So yes, whatever you had on Honor is gone because they wiped that server. at the end of last year. As before posted, the link, or the words they had posted was that after December 31st, 2022, the Honor game world will be closed permanently and any remaining characters will not be able to be transferred or accessed. My understanding is they wiped the server, and I think it became Shadowfast or Treebeard. Like, I think it became one of these two new legendary servers. So, what I would say is if you have characters on Treebeard or Shadowfax that you would want to be paying attention to when that server will be likely to hit server max, and know that within 3 to 6 months of that, they will close that server and permanently. So, for example, Shadowfax should be reaching cap. Hang on, I can check. Shadowfax will get to... oh, maybe I didn't include it in my little notes. No, there it is. Shadowfax, cap level 140, Gundabad before the Shadow, May 3rd. So that's next month. So next month, Shadowfax gets to what is currently the server cap. So my guess is that like a month or two within that time, they will announce that Shadowfax will be closing, and you'll have like 3 to 6 months to get your, that you'll be able to get your stuff off of there. Oh, you're right. Telerian points out that Treebeard and Shadowfax started before Anor was closed. That's true. I forgot about that. They did say they were going to wipe the server, though, so I would guess that those characters are gone. I mean, you could try and put in a ticket to customer service just in case, but I would... Don't get your hopes up, I'm sorry to say. Yeah. Yeah, we transferred all of our characters off of Anor, all of our stuff. Yeah. And actually, it's funny because I was like, I wanted stuff to go to different places, and so I kind of had lists going all over the place of like, okay, I want to send this over to here, I want to send this over to here, I want to send this over to here. Because transfers were free, it was great. So I did a whole lot of that transfer of shared storage. So I transferred a character and a whole bunch of stuff with her. And then I did a whole bunch of shared storage transfers so that every server that I have got basically a copy of my wardrobe. So everything I had in my wardrobe on Anor went to every server I have characters on. So that was cool. Yeah, anyway, so yeah. So yeah, Saren, I'm afraid I don't have good news for you on that one. I wish I had better news for you. Because they were pretty clear that those characters are going to be gone. But you could put in a ticket just on the off chance that the server's still around and they're feeling like they've got somebody with some spare time. I would say it's not likely, though. So, yeah. Yeah, I would be really sad if I missed out on the Treebeard closing and transferring because I have so much... I have a lot of stuff on here. Many coming to Gundabad, what does it say? Could seek a comfortable shelter here in Vernozal. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. So yeah, I would say if you don't follow Lotra on a regular basis, like maybe at least just follow their Twitter account and just scan that periodically. Or you could, I bet there's a way you could set up something. Oh, we're getting new forums next month, like early next month. So I'll bet there's a way you can like follow a keyword or something like that, right? I would bet there's a way to set that sort of thing up. And I'm not the one who's the most knowledgeable about that, but I bet there are people who will know how to do that sort of thing. Ooh, the view from the balcony over the court is truly impressive. Indeed. You probably don't want to fall off of here. What if there's invisible walls? I don't think I'm going to try and find out right now. But cool. Okay. That is nice. All right, we need to explore the waterway and explore the throne. Oh, the throne. Well, that's okay. That'll be a good place to end because then we got to talk to the guy. I'm thinking water might be down somewhere. So we're going to try that. So let's see. B4 points out server is a misleading term. As a single name server, for example, Treebeard is probably represented by multiple servers for the world, non-server database servers. Yeah. Talking techie stuff, yes, server is maybe incorrect in thinking of it as being a physical spot that is not connected to anything else. but my point is that they probably would have reclaimed whatever resources, let's put it that way, were being used to make that happen. The hall was built over and is powered by this underground river. Ooh, very cool. Look at that. Ooh, look at that statue action. Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is very cool. All right, oops. You're out of range. Okay, let me catch up to you. So my guess is that whatever they were using for Ithil and Anor, those resources are gone and we're exploring the throne.
I don't know who's in the front.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I have some thoughts.
But Affadil has thoughts on where the throne might be found. Saren asks, why are they closing the legacy servers or the legendary servers? Well, once they're done, they close them because the population just it dwindles once they get to cap level. For example, you've got thousands of people logging in daily to your average server. Your average legendary server may not have thousands, it may have hundreds. And once it gets to the same as live servers, as they call them, even though this to me seems pretty live, once they get to the regular servers, the free-to-play servers, once they get to that same cap level, it seems like the population dwindles even again. I don't know how far, like maybe from, say hundreds to dozens, or maybe to tens or less than that, right? So the amount of resources, this is just me speculating at this point, okay? Oh, hey, from this seat, many proclamations were made by the lords of Gundabad. Okay, me speculating is that it takes resources to run something. Yeah, that's a nice throne. Indeed. Doesn't look that comfortable, but looks pretty. So you can dedicate, this pool of resources to serve this many people, or you could dedicate this pool of resources to serve this many people. And I'm thinking, if that's me, if that's my business, I'm gonna be like, the return on that is not that great. Whereas the return on this, the needs of the many are outweigh the needs of the few. I think that's makes sense to me. So this is again speculating. My guess is that, developers, Lotro, other things where they have those kind of like tournament servers and things like that, have basically noticed that once something runs to the end, that it just dwindles, and therefore it's not worth keeping resources allocated for that. And so that's why they probably are like, when we get there, we close and move on to the next one. That's my guess as to why they do that, so they can reclaim those resources and use them on something else. Let's see. B4 points out that it is SSG's current policy for legendary servers that reach the standard server level cap that they close them. Egg Arthur does point out you can jump down from the balcony to Prince Ingor without dying if you fall onto the ledge halfway down or bounce off the statue. Okay. So if I had jumped from there and hit maybe that and maybe this, and I was coming to here, I could have made it. But if I had gone straight out there, probably not. Okay. Before it points out also that every server is another, X number of person hours every week for server maintenance and all that. So the more servers you have, the more maintenance time you have, which extends that maintenance time that they do once a week. And, it's, again, I mean, it's not a good, I think it would just not be a good use of their time, to be honest. It depends though. Yeah. So anyway, I'm really glad that we've got a while to go with Treebeard. I am very curious to see what will happen, because one of the things I noticed with Anor was that, now I joined Anor probably when it was in Mirkwood or maybe Moria. So I missed the initial land rush, right? I wasn't there for the initial, like, we only have access to level 50 stuff. I came after that. I think the level cap was 60 or 65 when I joined Anor. But it's really easy to get levels, and Anor was still, even though it had reduced amount of XP, it was still 60%. Whereas here on Treebeard, we're at 40% of normal. So it's still 60% of normal, and you still got your VIP perks, and like leveling was still pretty easy on Anor. So I leveled up pretty fast. Now I think I came close to getting to level cap, and every time I would get close, they'd increase it. And so I never actually hit level cap with that character. But that was kind of funny. Anyway, one of the things I noticed is as it kept getting higher and higher, it seemed like there were fewer and fewer people like engaging in the game, and like you hardly ever had somebody new. Like it was very rare that somebody new would join the server and level up and join. It seemed like what it became is like people would sit around for a few months, and then the thing would open up to the next level, and a number of people would just like zoom up to that top level as fast as they could, and then they'd be capped, and they'd be like, okay, we're ready for the next one. And you're like, we just got here. It's like, taking your kids to the amusement park, whatever, and they like go and do everything real in the first 10 minutes, and then they're like, okay, I'm bored. I'm like, well, you just did, like, slow the heck down, dude. Whereas then you had people like me who I do enjoy taking my time and, exploring the game and things like that. So, I would be with like people of the kinship that we had over there, and we were slowly working our way around and through Mirkwood and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see what will happen with Treebeard. Will it, as we get to the higher and higher levels, like when you get to Rohan and you get, into these like 95, 100, 120, whatever levels, do new people join and work their way up or go through in packs, on their way through? Or is it going to be that kind of eventual migration where most of the server population is at cap or near cap, doing that cap, the newest expansion content, and all the rest of it kind of sits fallow? And so it makes it harder for new people to join because they're so far away from where the majority of the server is, and people get busy, people get lives, things happen, and so what I noticed is that population at the top kind of dwindles a little bit over time just through attrition. And if you don't have more people coming in, then that group gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller over time. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Treebeard in like 4 years when we get to cap. How many people are still going to be around? Is it going to be a really small group, or is there going to be a pretty, still a good thriving ecosystem? I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that. I know with Anor, it didn't feel that way. It felt like it had kind of dwindled quite a lot at that point. Saren asks, is it worth making a tune on Shadowfax or Treebeard? I would say it depends on your goals. Shadowfax, I would say it'd be worth making a character there if you want legendary item titles or anything else that you can only acquire on a legendary server and you want to do it quickly. Because Shadowfax, you get 150% of the experience. So you can go really fast through the game. So if you're trying to get like the title you get at 105, the title you get at 120, those sorts of things. You could do that very quickly and easily on Shadowfax. So that would definitely be a reason to do that. Also, like the Stone Trolls that we were looking at earlier, Stone Troll the first, the second, and the third, you can only get those on legendary servers through doing some content that is in the scary zone, the first scary zone. Angmar, thank you. Through Angmar content, and then Moria content, and I think it was Mirkwood content was the third troll. So those are the three places. So you don't have to be, you can still be like level 65 or whatever, and you can get those trolls. So that would be a reason to maybe go through and get a character on Shadowfax. That's a good point. B4 points out that we are on Shadowfax and Treebeard. There's a landscape difficulty, which is a thing you can add on to your character, and we are really enjoying that. So that would be a reason to join Treebeard. Also, is if you like taking your time and you feel like getting levels happens way too quickly, which I feel like it does, Treebeard is a great place to experience leveling more slowly, because we get 40% of normal experience. So you can make your way through just doing like the epic line, but you're still going to be on level for most of that. And you can do some of the side quests. Like, we do all the side quests. So we actually end up with more XP still, and we've got the experience disablers. Or in this case, we're at level 75 and we're still working our way through the region that we have, the Great River. But we finished Isengard, and yeah, we're working our way through the Great River, and we've already hit level cap. But that's okay. Being level 75, the content we're hitting is level 70 to 75, so it's fine. Like, it's worked out fine. I still see new players joining Treebeard regularly, so that's pretty cool. So, and there's also people who will go ahead and get to cap, like 75 right now, and they're like, okay, I'm here, this character's here, I'm good with where this character is, I don't feel like I need to quest anymore with that one, so I'm going to start a new one. So there's always people starting new alts, it seems like, too. So you aren't necessarily going to be running around by yourself. Like, I'll see it in World periodically, somebody will be like, hey, I'm doing, the Great Barrows level, 20, 25 content, right? And they're like, anybody else on this level want to come and join me? Because people on Treebeard definitely are, I think, a style that you see regularly on Treebeard is, I want to do this content at the level this content is. So if I'm doing level 20 content, I've got a level 20 character to do it. If I'm going to do level 50 content, I'm going to tag my level 50 character to go do it. So I would say it's still worth it to join Treebeard if you are interested in that longer, slower paced, exploring the world and not over leveling really fast kind of experience. I've really liked it. Also, you can then also do the landscape difficulty thing, which is so much fun. The enemies are harder to hit. They hit you harder, and occasionally you inspire the wrath of Sauron, and so you'll be hit by like fire bombardment. You have time to get out of the way, but you have to pay attention and then get yourself out of the way, and it's fun. I like that too. Let's see. Bill Sliski asked, what's level cap nowadays? Level cap on the regular servers is 140. For us, it's 75. And Shadowfax is about to go to 140 at the beginning of May. So they're like, what, 130 right now, I guess? Yeah, so B4 pointed out the landscape difficulties only available on Treebeard and Shadowfax right now. Dame Hypatia asks, are locations like Azkad Mazal, the Chamber of Shadows, on the Legendary server? It's in Moria, accessible from level 50, but quest-wise, it's above level 100. And Egg Arthur says no. That specific group, Azkad Mazal, was linked to the Blood of Azog quest pack. So that is later on. And so no, we don't have access to that on the Legendary servers. Not on this one. Sorry. I mean, I guess they would over on Shadowfax, because Shadowfax is further ahead than we are. Okay, so yeah, so just in case, because I have this in my head and I didn't actually say this, Shadowfax was increasing their level cap every 2 months, so they were going very quickly. We, on Treebeard, we get our next increase every 5 to 6 months. So about twice a year, we go up to the next. So you've got 5 to 6 months to really explore an area. And it's so funny because we're already, like, our next increase, Cord went ahead and announced it for the whole year, when our increases are happening. We're going up on June 7th, so we have like a month and a half, less than a month and a half, before we get cap 85 to Rohan and Wildemore. And so we're already like, okay, what all do we need to accomplish before that happens? And like, And so before I went through and figured out like what story stuff we haven't done yet, and like, you know, the epic lion stuff and the areas we haven't gone to, and like, okay, here's what we need to do this week, here's what we do this week. Like we've had to actually list it out because we're like already too slow. We're like, the server is getting to be too fast. Yeah, let's see. B4 points out about that Azcad Mazal that the wiki thinks that's part of the Wells of Langford Flood instance cluster. Although Woe of the Willow is available, says Arthur, so it's a little inconsistent. Woe of the Willow, though, is kind of lower level content, isn't it? Like, well, I guess, I mean, there's quests that send you to deal with the Willow, the Woe of the Willow, that are in Buckland. And I think there was like one of the quests to pick up to send you in there was like level 20 or 18 or something like that. So that does not surprise me that Woe of the Willow was slotted in for lower level or all levels, but the other stuff was higher level. Okay, I'm going to talk to Prince Ingor. The rightful claim. So, he says, you see the potential offered to us by the Hall of Vernalzal. Yes, I have seen it too. Potential is not enough for the Zelruka, however. This hall must be a place of beauty, restored to the shining beacon it once was. Right now, the hall is covered in dust and crawling with small nighttime beasts. Perhaps tonight you could take care of those unwelcome visitors for me. Okay, so this is a mission. There is twists in all of these missions. And in this one it says there's no twist. Okay, well, I guess I will travel now. Let's check it out. So pretty. I love the landscape drawings that they do. Okay, this quest. Mission, the Zelruka Clan, Chapter 1. Defeat mountain bats. I will be here if you need anything. Good luck. All right, thanks. Ah, I see some bats. We are to defeat you, bats. I've been told. New deed, Gundabad Mission Slayer. Okay, awesome. Go us. Wow, these are tough bats. First one I took out because I did a Heartseeker on it. That was easy. Now we could do a little gathering, but I don't know if we should. Are you fighting that one? Okay. Okay. See, there's that red square on the ground that was around me. That is why I moved, because it was going to, make me, give me the thing. Where's my stuff? There it is. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was going to do a rain of arrows, and then my rain of arrows went dark. I was like, wait, I'm not ready. Cool. We defeated some bats. Oh, now they want us to defeat some cave rats. Let's see. I'm a hunter. Let's see if I can figure out where they are. Well, they're distant, but they're in this direction. Yeah, I just heard a cat come down the stairs. She was upstairs. Hello, Kato. And I think Casper's still sleeping on the couch. Yeah. He heard his name. He looked up and went back to the back. Oh, wow. Yeah, that cave rat's very happy in the fire, isn't he? Oops. Agarther points out that the chamber that we were talking about, Chamber of Shadows, is scalable to a minimum of level 50. Alright, yeah, there should be more rats around here somewhere. Oh, you dirty rat. Hey, there's one. I think things that are generally related to, like, Blood of Azog, the War of the Three Peaks, and Fate of Gundabad, like, that stuff we don't have yet. So I think maybe from a thematic standpoint, we didn't get that stuff. But on the other hand, this is Gundabad, so I don't know. I think, though, the missions, anything related to missions, they seem to give us. My guess is that it just has to deal with the programming. And for some reason, the programming on this is not limited, whereas the programming on, like, some of that other stuff is. That's my guess. See, there was a box around Affodil, and now she's run out of it, so it won't trigger, because there's nobody left in the box when that kind of internal timer runs out. Hey, Kato, what you doing, man? Now we're looking for Gretabugs. Oh, I'm a hunter. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. They're right underneath us, is my guess. Or above. My guess is going to be below. Well, I don't know. Now the arrow's pointing up. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Let's see. Dame Hypatia says, Azkad Mazal is a good place to get armor for your class. Oh, nice. Fast and easy work. That's cool. We got one over here. Goodness. Oh, doubles. So we each triggered a box there. Sauron's got his eye on us. Or, as you say, the minions of Sauron. Thanks for the bubble. It is handy doing the hunter minstrel combo. We both do a lot of DPS, but she can heal me from time to time. I like that. Oh, that's why I'm not getting focused, because I was on the other one. Alright. I like playing the stance where I get focus on a regular basis. And I switched over to endurance stance, I don't know, at some point. I was probably getting hit by a troll or something. Alright, oh gosh, now we gotta go find some mountain. Hey, we gotta find those guys that are right there. Oh, not in line of sight. Alright, well, let's go up and get him. So I guess it will be a little while before we're able to take advantage of Azkad Mazal for our class armor stuff. Maybe this is why they wanted us to find the waterfall and everything. They're like, hey, remember that waterfall? There's some stuff over there. Oop, I have received the ire. It's funny, people talk about the fire that we get, and they're like, call it like, what is it, like space, like, you know, fireballs from space or something like that, which would not be very in-world, right? But I think of it like, it reminds me of the barrels. There's some dwarves that you encounter in instances. I forget what they're called, not fire dwarves, but they're bad guy dwarves, that you encounter, and they have like the barrel of powder keg, you know, like powder keg on fire basically, that they throw at you, and then fire sapper. No, it's not a sapper though. Oh, hey, there's another one over here. Okay. Yeah, keg master. That's it. The keg master. And so they throw a keg of powder at you. Return to Zova. Okay, cool. Wonder if we could mount up. Nope. Being barred from use. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, the keg master. It reminds me of the keg master, where they throw it and then it has an area effect, and if you're still there after a period of time, it explodes. It looks like the same effect to me. So cool. We're getting Gundabad marks. So only one person needs to, if we're doing this on duo, so only one person needs to get open the box, and it counts for both of us, which is nice. She says, okay, well done. That looks like the last of the beasts lurking within these halls. Prince Ingor will be pleased. Let us retire for the night and get some well-deserved rest. Okay, that sounds great. I got Eurovision songs going through my head. Not the one you're thinking of. Meow. Oh, that's her, not him. That's funny. Usually it's him that goes up there and meows when he's looking for people. Hey, Prince Ingor. Whoa, I just overshot. All right. He says, good work on dealing with those nighttime visitors. There's more work to be done here in Gundabad, and it's a long road that lies ahead of us. At least the travel on this road involves making a home rather than searching for one. Yay! Okay, let me check that thing that he just gave me. Oh, does it auto do it? Ooh. Okay, I have acquired the Journey to the Hall of Vernazal skill. So if I look in my thing, it shouldn't be here yet. But what I can do is right-click and check untrained skills. And boom, it adds it in there. Now where did it stick it? Here it is. That's new. Cool. Hey, Quartermaster, can I spend my coins yet?
Shows mercy in death.
The dour hand. It's battle gauntlets. That's clever. Wow, two-headed troll trophy. Whoa. Yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap up. Okay, so... Oh, that's really funny. I hadn't noticed this, but in my general output, I had it check untrained skills, and it added that one. And then it has skills not trained, and it listed everything else that I don't know. That's really funny. Like, yes, I knew I didn't know those things. It's okay. I was okay not knowing these things. That's really funny. Okay, anyway, so, all right, so we have done something here. Let's see. Can I claim this yet? No, I can't claim that. I guess I still need to earn some reputation with these folks. And his initial thing didn't do it. So my guess is I gotta go and do stuff with those other people. Anyway, okay. Well, that was a really interesting beginning to the allegiance thing, which you can see I've got my little allegiance. I currently have my allegiance level is 0 out of 30. My current points are 0 out of 1405. And total points earned is 0. Hey, wanna come be on stream for the last few minutes? Awesome. So every week, I try to put out a tweet to remind people who follow me on Twitter that I'm going to go live, so that way they don't miss it if they want to make sure they catch it. And I did mention that cat sightings would be quite likely today, because the house is in chaos still with the construction happening upstairs. Almost done. But there's still a lot of, noise in random places happening. So they're enjoying being down here with us in the calm space. And so I was unsurprised that we would find the cats down here today. And I'm sorry you can't see him on the couch. Casper is zonked out on the couch still. So it was so cute. I went and lay down for a few minutes earlier, and he came, and so before I was even laying down, I was like, I'm just gonna lay down for a few minutes. Before I was even laying down, she is like, I'm on top of you. I'm like, you're gonna not like this because I haven't settled yet. So once I got settled, she stayed. And then he came over and like laid down up against my legs while I was on the couch. I'm like, oh, that's very sweet. So then we were like that for a little bit, and then I stirred, and she got annoyed, so she's like, I'm out. So she went over to sit on the chairs by the windows, because they get a lot of really good sun over there too. And he was like, I will take this space. And so he just was like center of everything, laid out big and long, because he's a long cat. So, and then I'm like, I gotta get up and stream. So I snuck out, and he stayed on the couch. So it's very cute. So, all right, let's see. So next week, we are definitely going to be doing festival. And it's the anniversary festival, which is an interesting one, because most festivals, you need 10 quests to do the daily wrapper. And with the anniversary one, I believe it's the one where you only need 6. And it used to be really hard to get those 6, but they added in horse races as an option. So I think what we'll do next week is we will try to explore all the different ways in which you can get quests that count for that daily wrapper. There's also an instance that they added last year, and I'm pretty sure that also counts. So that helps give you some more options. So we'll take a look at that on next week. In fact, Yeah. In fact, it might take us 2 weeks because there's a lot of different options, and then sometimes there's one that's like you can do it twice a week. So we might do some of that and then do some more of it the next time. So anyway, I'm kind of babbling at this point. My apologies. Anyway, we'll do Anniversary Festival next week and probably for 3 weeks in a row. Usually the festivals run for about 3 weeks. So we'll probably spend the next 3 weeks on Anniversary Festival, which is going to be so exciting. See what new goodies we get. That's going to be awesome. Well, I mean, I'll get... So you'll get the year anniversaries for goodies for your year anniversary, but then they've said something that we're going to get something, like everybody's going to get something also. So that'll be cool to kind of see what that is. So, all right. Oh, and then there'll be new things at the vendors, I would expect as well. So lots to check into for next time. And then in between festivals, so after the Anniversary Festival is done, when we're between that and the... what's next? Let's see, Anniversary, and then Anniversary event is April 20 to May 11. There's a Buried Treasure event. If that's usually on the weekends. Oh, that says May 18 to 30. If that's happening on a Tuesday, we can check in on that for sure. Treebeard will go up. Midsummer is the next one after that. So we'll have like a month gap, a little less than a month, May 11th to June 8th. We'll have a gap between where there's no festivals. So what we might do is come back and explore some more of this, this interesting thing. Because we haven't done a lot. We personally have not done a lot with allegiances. And so this is a new, interesting thing to check out. So we might come back and do that in between festivals as well. And if we ever have a stream during the festival where we finish up and I've got some time still, we might come back and look at these folks some more. Spend some time with dwarves, why not? I like it when the lights are all up like that. I like how when it's brighter in here, but I do love how there's so much detail and like just the craftsmanship of the dwarves is quite stunning. And it's like quite amazing. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun to check out. Okay. All right. Yes. Anelia in the chat says, oh, wait, 2 days to go until the event. Time flies. It is only 2 days until the event. So, yes, Thursday. Thursday, it would be at 10 a.m. server time is the way they do it. Will be when the Anniversary Festival will start. So make sure you log in sometime in that 11 months starting Thursday to increment and get your goodies. And that way you don't miss out on any of the years. So, all right. If you have any other questions or anything, drop it in the chat. I will still be around, but I am going to finish up my stream and hand it over to Before here in just a moment. He will be doing his stream called Plugin Along, where he will be talking about Lotro plugins, and he'll be working on a plugin during his stream, and you can see how that goes, but you can ask any questions about Lotro, of course. Both of us are around and able to answer questions and give opinions and whatnot. And obviously there's plenty of knowledgeable people around hanging out in the chat as well, which is always great. Oh, before I forget, and I did forget my tea, I just let it set here and get cold. Deco de Miu is a fantastic website. They do all sorts of, they have everything in the game that is a housing item. So if you have any questions ever about what does this housing item look like, you can go to Deco de Miu's website. Thank you Before for putting the link there. en.dcodumilieu.fr. It is a French site, but he also does it in English. And yeah, so I mentioned that because on Thursday, there'll be some new housing items, I'm sure. And you'll be able to go to Deco's website to check out what they look like if you are curious before you purchase it with your, anniversary tokens and all of that. So Blackberry Bear says, thank you for the stream. Always a pleasure to watch. Oh, thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody for coming along. It's always fun to do this as a group. That's one of the reasons I like playing Lotro, is I love Lotro itself. And I've spent a lot of time in the game alone. But when I'm playing with other people, that's really when the game is alive for me. That's what makes me the happiest. And so when I'm streaming and you all are here with me too, it just adds to the experience for me. So I hope you are having a good time with it as well. And I will see you all in a week when we'll do the anniversary festival together. And there will be fewer stacked tables behind couches and but plenty of sleeping cats in the sun. I can almost guarantee that. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your evening. Hopefully you'll stick around for B4 and his stream. And as I always say, remember to stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart. All right, take care of each other, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.